Hello, and welcome back to the Technically Speaking podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ethan, joined by the dulcet tones of Mr. Shea.
Hello, everybody.
And welcome to this episode of the Technically Speaking podcast. We've got a couple of things to talk about today. So, a day in the life of how we use our tech. So, just what tech we use for what and how, and probably grill each other intensely on every little choice that we make.
Oh, you know it.
And you complaining about me. And then we have not quite 101 things to do with NFC tags, mostly to do with smart home things, but you can do so much with them that I think they are amazing wee piece of tech to kind of have around for anyone. And then we're going to talk a bit about the most popular Android phone and some of Android features / Pixel features, because I am going to be switching or using out the most popular Android phone in the world right now in terms of sales margin. So stick around to hear what we think of that, and you'll see a video probably in that somewhat soonish. I don't know.
Hashtag plug.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get into point one. First, a day in the life of how we use our tech. I think this is going to be quite interesting because everyone uses tech differently for different reasons. Everyone has a different amount of tech. I think even between me and you'll be quite a difference.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we're completely different whenever it comes to tech, I think.
Yeah. Even though, I would say we're both quite into it, we both use it for very different purposes.
We're into it for different reasons.
So, my first use of tech is literally as I wake up, because my Alexa sets my alarm.
Makes sense.
So it plays my alarm, and then I have, whenever the alarm goes off, I have automations to tell me what the weather's like, what the traffic's like around me, and it also starts to play a wee bit of music in the morning, just to help me get up. And then I'll probably check my phone, because I'm very bad at replying to people. And I'll usually clear all my notifications in the morning straight away. And then, I'll probably put on, as I have breakfast, to use the phone again to watch something while I eat, because I am an iPad child.
Aren't we all?
You're worse than me.
I know.
So I'll do that, then use the phone again to listen to music while in the shower. And then, depending on what I'm doing for the day, so if I'm going to work, I'm surrounded by technology all day, every day, because I sell it. So in terms of using it to have phone numbers in it that I might have to call, or use it to hotspot and set up someone else's phone, things like that. Or if I'm at uni, I will be using my iPad to take notes with an app called Notability, my Apple Pencil. And if I'm writing assignments at uni, I will be using my Lenovo IdeaPad. My phone, by the way, probably should have said this at the start. My phone is an iPhone 14 Pro Max. And then my other phone, if I have my work phone, is an iPhone 12. So I'll be doing stuff on that, work-wise. And then as I come home, the first thing I think I do when I come home is boot up my computer.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, get everything, because I have an automation that just turns on most of the tech on this side of the room on at once. Get everything on, baby. Watch. I spend most of my nights, I would say, when I don't have a lot on, I'd spend most of them, watching video, YouTube, or watching a movie or something. And I use my PC for that mostly, or I might use my iPad if I want to, lie on the bed or something and have a somewhat smaller screen, just give my eyes a break, because sometimes when you're staring at screens all day, your eyes start to hurt.
They do, yeah, eventually they do. It kind of sucks, but well.
A little bit sucky, but... And I'm also hopeless with directions, so if I ever have to drive anywhere that I haven't been 20 times already, I have to put the address into Google Maps, and I'll have that on my... and as my phone, use my phone for that.
So you don't end up in Bangladesh?
Yeah, I would. On half a tank of petrol in a dream. I suppose my car would also count then. So I drive a Hyundai i30.
Fair enough.
Yeah, does me well. I can connect to the Bluetooth. I have the aux cord. But yeah, most of my day, surprisingly, I think I didn't used to be a phone person, but I think now I've accumulated a lot of stuff onto the phone.
Yeah.
So like I run most of like my social media off my phone as well. So like in terms of my Instagram page, that's done on the phone. This isn't done on the phone, but it's done on the computer. And, you know, like in terms of doing any shorts or anything, it's on the phone. If I message Shay about this, it's on the phone. So it's all very phone-centric at the moment.
All done on the old iPhone.
Yeah, which is surprising because I'm wanting to downsize my iPhone.
Oh.
I think next time I'll probably just go for the regular Pro because the Pro Max is she's a wee bit big. I'm a very small human.
Fair.
But no, anytime I'm walking anywhere as well, I have my AirPods Pro in. Very good. If I'm on a train, AirPods Pro, iPhone, Pro Max. That's what is nice to have the bigger screen, is because I can then set it up. If I have a buff stand in the back of my phone, I can set it up so that I can watch a wee bit of video while on the way to the big spoke.
Yeah, that's always nice, having something portable you can watch stuff on whenever you're traveling.
Yeah. I think that's where like an appeal of a folding phone to me would be.
Yeah.
As like a mini tablet that can fit in your pocket.
Makes sense.
But yeah, I think that's mostly it. Like I carry different types of like charging leads and all with me as well, but we already know too much about them.
True that.
The last thing I do is probably get Alexa to set an alarm for me in the morning.
And then rinse and repeat.
If I listen to music in my room as well, it's probably through my Alexa.
Fair.
Yeah. Most of it's all done on the phone. Even like my smart home is controlled by the phone now, and everything. Yeah, kind of boring. I'm kind of just a normal guy. Also, if someone calls me as well, it's on the phone.
Has anyone ever used... You know how you can put your contacts onto Windows PCs?
Yeah.
Has anyone ever actually used that?
Not that I know of.
No, I don't know anyone who's ever actually used that, because it always comes up whenever you're setting up a new PC. It's like, would you like to sync your contacts?
No.
Why? Why would I want to do that? Why would I... I'm not going to ring my mum when I'm on my... To be fair, some like basement gamers who can't be bothered to pick up their phone that's right next to them and dial a number, I could see it. I could see it happening. People who play League of Legends. That's what we're looking at.
That's also me. Like, you know, as well, you see if I hear like someone shouting me downstairs, I just ring them. I'm like, it's just, you know, why strain ourselves?
Just go downstairs.
No, but I need to know if it's important enough to get up. If it's just you upstairs. But yeah, I think that's me. I don't think I've missed anything. Is there any scrutiny you want to put to my tech use?
I don't think so, to be honest. I think it's all quite normal. For once. That is a first. Because, like we said at the start, I thought we were going to be very different in our day-to-day, but by the sounds of it, like day-to-day basis, we kind of do the same.
Yeah.
Except you have more smart home, and I don't. That's about it.
Oh yeah. Also, we use Google Docs for anything related to this.
Yes.
Because it just lets us update it. We're both on the same one, and I can write from the phone, from my computer, from my iPad.
Yeah, updates live, which is fantastic.
Yeah. So anything Google, I think, is best for collaborating, pretty much.
Yeah, I would say so.
So one of the things I actually forgot, and I'll probably get killed for this, is that FaceTime's very important to me as well on my phone. I'm in a semi-long distance relationship, so FaceTime every night is very important. I was having issues for a while. It's since fixed, but we moved to WhatsApp in the meantime. But yeah, it's very important. Another thing I would use my phone for, because this is very interesting, everything's just on the phone. I even pay for my phone. I don't carry cash or cards or anything. So yeah, I think that's mostly me. There's a couple of little things I missed out that like I don't use on a daily basis, but that would be I do that stuff every day. But I'm interested to hear what you would do, because you said you thought we'd be different, but now you think we're quite similar.
Yeah, originally, because we use technology overall for different reasons, me and you.
Mm-hmm.
I think you do a lot more smart home stuff. I don't. I play a lot more games than you do, stuff like that. But day to day, I think we're mostly the same. So, same as you, I wake up. My googlepixel has something called bedtime mode, which basically means I can set a bedtime. So mine's just 11 p.m. every night. My phone goes to black and white. It's called night mode. So it dulls the screen down a lot and it goes black and white.
Yeah.
And it puts do not disturb on, so I don't get any messages unless it's very important.
Yeah, iPhone has something like that as well, but I don't use it.
Yeah, so that happens at 11 every night, but it also has an alarm set on it, so you can set 11 and 7 is what I have mine for, but obviously you can change that to be however you like. So every 7 a.m. an alarm goes off and my phone brightens up again, turns to up disturb off, tells me if there's anything drastic that happened during the night while I was asleep.
Your alarm's on your phone.
Yes it is. It's Camptown races.
Oh.
So it's very and I wake up like, oh my god, yes, I'm awake now. It never fails to wake me up. But yeah, I have that set up for every morning. I, same as you, get up, breakfast, have to watch something on my phone because we're iPad kids. Unlike you, I don't sell technology at work, but I do work with technology because I do editing, recording, media stuff while I'm at work.
Yeah.
So I work with cameras, I work with microphones, I work with editing software and PCs.
Yeah.
That's my job.
What would be your highlights? So what's the camera you use both? What's the microphone you use both? And what's your go-to top 3 bits of software you use in a day?
At work, that I can't actually disclose.
Oh.
I can't actually disclose that because Justin will kill me. Genuinely, we're not actually allowed to say that.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, seriously, yeah. I can tell you about the software. It's Premiere Pro.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that. But mics and cameras, I can't say. I feel like a part of the lodges and 30. I can't say. Simply cannot say.
You plead the fifth?
Yes, I played the fifth, definitely. But yeah, recording is fun. I like recording with the guys I work with, but I can't tell you what equipment we use to do so. You have no idea the amount of companies in our area that we work in, the amount of them who have gone, so what do you guys use? And we have to go, no. No, we can't tell you that.
That's interesting. I didn't think that would be a thing.
I think technically I am allowed to. I don't think there's nothing in my contract that stops me from saying it. Mm. But if it gets out there and someone from another company who you work with watches it, I'll probably be in deep crap for it. Although it's highly unlikely it will happen, I don't want to risk it.
No, don't do it.
But yeah, I mean, that's what I do for a job, so I use technology a lot during day-to-day. I then come home, I'll load up my PC, which is my baby, my big baby, my PC. Then I'll play games usually for the rest of the night. That's about it. 11 o'clock hits, my phone tells me it's bedtime, so I go to bed. That's a joke. I stay up till 3 a.m. playing games, and then I go to bed.
You're like, yeah, it doesn't matter, it's black and white. You can still use it.
Do not disturb's on. Oh no. I'll be definitely not disturbed whenever I'm playing video games.
I think the most interesting thing about your PC is the single strip of RGB.
How dare you? I've got 3 now.
Oh.
I've got one on the graphics
RAM?
card.
Is it
RAM?
RAM?
The two RAM I've won. But that's it. I don't like RGB in PCs. I don't like it. So whenever I set up my PC, I said I want the minimal amount of RGB I could possibly get. Unfortunately, the graphics card I wanted came with it. Had to deal with that. And the RAM that I wanted also came with it. But it's fine. It's not that bright. It's not terrible.
It's like a warning to the rest.
Yeah, damn right.
Yeah, I think what is quite interesting, especially from like my end, is like what like you can literally run businesses and stuff just using your mobile phone.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Nowadays you can easily run a business.
Yeah, like I think that's like the amount you can do on them is ridiculous. Like, especially like if you had like, I'm saying like a lot, but if you had a phone that's a productivity monster, Samsung's folding phones, you know, you can have split screen, have 3 things on each screen, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's ridiculous, I think, how much process, like, have you ever heard this? I don't know if it's true or not, but you hear loads of people say what we carry in our pockets nowadays is like so many times more computing power in them than the entirety of NASA had.
Oh,
when
yeah,
they put a man in the moon.
Yeah, no, absolutely. NASA had something like, it was 200 kilobytes. Like, that's all a tiny amount worth of information on their computers back then to get a man on the moon. And we're carrying 128 gigabytes minimum. You know, we could carry all of NASA's information millions of times over on our phones. It's that insane. It's genuinely mental how far we've come in just these few years.
Yeah. Especially, even, like, that's ridiculous to me, that figure. Like, it makes you feel like you don't use your phone effectively.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It's like I could put a man on the moon with that.
I could put a man on the moon with 1% of this. And yet here I am playing Flappy Bird.
Flappy Bird doesn't come on phones anymore.
I know, they stopped doing that years ago. They stopped doing that when we were in secondary school.
Yeah, I was going to say, what age are you? Scrolling through TikTok for hours, that's...
Do you remember whenever they did that and the guys who had Flappy Bird on their phones still installed, sold them for thousands? That was mental.
Yeah. You can
what
get
a
it.
Weird time.
I actually went to school with someone later on who had it on his calculator.
Do you know you can run the original Doom on a calculator?
Oh, seriously?
Yeah. It's got that little computing power. You can run it on a modern calculator.
Did you know you could put a man on the moon with a calculator?
You probably could, yeah, if you tried hard enough.
You definitely do the maths.
You definitely do the math, that's for sure, yeah. Especially if you've got one of them scientific calculators.
Beautiful. I suppose it would really... it depends on who has it as well.
That's true, yeah. That's
like,
very true.
We ain't putting a man nowhere.
we ain't getting the man next door with the calculator.
So, touching up on that, one of the things I didn't mention in my daily tech use is NFC tags. I use quite a few of them, right? Because you can do 101 things with them. Now, just to give you some of examples, like I have one that in my car, when I tap it with my phone, it sends my partner a text to where I am and how long it'll be till I'm home.
Nice.
Very useful. You can have them. So, like, one of the things that I've been looking into is I love a lot of my music taste is very old. And you get some really great album art with them. So one of the things that I've been looking into doing is with my smart home, when I scan my phone to a piece of album art, there's an NFC tag behind the album art or inside the album sleeve that plays that album.
That's cool.
You know,
I like that.
Yeah, you can do automatic text and you can write games to them and emulate games. That's pretty cool. Yeah, they can do things like set timers. So, like, I've seen, people have them on their oven and you tap them and then it sets a timer for however long, if you're baking, sets a timer, check in 15 minutes or straight away.
That's nice.
Yeah. You can have them control your phones in all sorts of ways. So, as you said, like, I've seen people have them on, you stick them to your bedside table and when you set your phone down on it, it turns it into do not disturb mode. Straight away. I've seen people even put them on their toilet the top of their toilet shelf, so that whenever they set their phone there, when they're in the shower, they start playing music.
Oh, that's handy. I like that.
Yeah. Setting clear reminders is another thing they're very good for. They're actually really useful, because if you're someone that has to take a lot of medication, if you've ever known someone who has to take a lot of medication, the number one thing I can say that they will forget to do is take the medication. Right?
I do know someone who has to take a lot of medication, and I can confirm this happens quite often.
Yeah. It's always the way. But what I've seen is people have them on their like bottles or pill bottles or boxes or whatever, and they have the wee NFC tag stuck in the lid, and it's a binder that flashes on their phone until they tap it on the lid after they've taken their meds.
Nice. Nice.
So like at that stage you're not going to forget.
Yeah, so you literally can't turn that off until you've taken it.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And do you know how much an NFC tag costs?
How much?
Less than 20p.
Wow, very nice.
I think
Very nice indeed.
they're really good for getting automations and such set up in smart homes for very cheap. You can do a lot with them.
Yeah.
Because they're literally the world's your oyster. Like, you know, well, like, what do you think you would give me like a tech thing, and I'll see if I can think of a way to do it with an NFC tag.
Well, I was actually thinking of a little upgrade to your music tapping thing. So, I have a record player, right?
Yeah.
I like record players. I think they're cool. I buy vinyls to play on them. Instead of having it play like, what's the word? Like through your phone or speakers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If you tapped on your wall on the art, whatever it is, and then a little arm grabbed the vinyl and put it in a record player and started playing it on a record player, I would so fall in love with that. It's probably way too much effort, but I would, if I was rich, I would totally have that.
What Wallace and Gromit thing is that?
Exactly, you know what I mean? It's so weird. Like, you walk in, you go, feel a bit of Frank Sinatra today. Tap that, a little robot arm goes up to the shelf and goes, there's a Frank Sinatra one, pick it out on the record player, put the little thing on it, and it starts playing. I would so fall in love with that.
They're really, really cool. You could put them on, put them on your laptop on the inside. When you go to do a bit of work, you tap it, put your phone on Do Not Disturb so you can actually do some work.
That's never going to catch on.
No. You could make them into business cards as well.
Yeah, I think you've told me about that one before.
Yeah, you can make them into business card. Cool. So someone taps it with their phone, and you get basically take you to like a link tree of that person.
That's nice.
Speaking of which, there's 2 link trees in the description you should check out.
You absolutely should.
Guys. The really cool one is you can put your Wi-Fi password on one so that people come in, they tap their phone, they're on the Wi-Fi.
Oh, that's so handy.
Yeah, but if you're in Apple, you don't really need that.
Yeah, but if you're an Android pleb like me, you do, because having to enter a Wi-Fi password whenever you get new Wi-Fi is a pain in the ass. I got my new Wi-Fi password wrong 4 times before I got it right.
You see, this is the beauty. At the time when we got our new Wi-Fi, everyone was Android. My dad is everyone was iPhone, and my dad is now Android. But I signed into it on mine, and then they're all in my contacts. So whenever they would decided, I hit share password. And
that's so nice.
It's the walled garden.
It's fantastic.
Anyway, speaking of androids, we're doing a segue here.
Oh.
Unless you have anything else to say about NFC.
No, I just want robot arms.
Robot arms.
To play me Frank Sinatra. But even cooler though, right? If you had an NFC tag Frank Sinatra, and instead of putting it just hired a band to come and play Frank Sinatra at your house.
That's more plausible. Android phones. So, you wanted to talk about some Android features, and I am going to be reviewing, hopefully in the near future, if we can figure out the short thing. It's going to be a short. Android, the world's most popular Android phone, which is the A14.
Fair.
Go talk about about that. But obviously I don't have the phone yet, so we're not going to go into too much detail. But
That makes sense.
What features do you think I will be like once I go back to my iPhone? Will I not be able to live without?
Oh, Android features.
Yeah.
See, this is the thing. I the problem is I don't know which ones are Android and which ones are Google only. I think most of the ones I use are Google only, apart from probably the wake up alarm thing. But you wouldn't use that.
Yeah.
You guys have Apple Wallet, don't you?
Yeah.
Is it any good?
Apple Pay. It's amazing.
Oh, Apple Pay, yeah. But do you have Apple Wallet? Do you have like a wallet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
You can't store ID in it though. Yeah. It's coming in iOS 17, apparently. But yeah.
Google Wallet's quite handy because you can store obviously your cards on it to pay things. But you can also store ID. You can store whenever I go to football games with my dad, go to Liverpool. You can store the e-ticket on it, or if you're going to a concert and stuff, which is quite handy.
We can do that as well. I had my boarding pass and stuff in my wallet.
Which is really handy, but again, obviously, you have that already.
Yeah. I'm also not planning to go to a concert or...
I mean, that's the thing, though. There's not much on my phone that I use that Apple doesn't have.
Do you know one thing that you use constantly that Apple doesn't have that I think will be I think it's one of the biggest differences.
What?
The back button.
Oh yes, I forgot about that. Oh my god, how do you live? I use that button more often than I use anything else on this phone. Oh my god. How do you, oh my god. I'm gobsmacked. Yeah, the back button is quite a handy one, to be fair.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see how much I use that, because I don't, like, even whenever I'm like using other Android phones, I never use it because I'm just not used to it. But I wonder, will I get used to it?
How do you live like that? How? It's awful. There is one other cool thing, but it's a Google only thing. It's for Google One. You get a built-in VPN.
Oh yes, you love this.
I love it. I didn't, because I've always meant to get Nord or whatever a VPN because I like having internet privacy and it's so cheap. You know, it's worth it. Plus being able to access other Netflix catalogs and stuff, fantastic. But whenever I got this phone and realised that Google One has a built-in VPN for my phone, I was like, oh well, it's free. There's no point in me buying one now. But yeah, it does stutter a bit every once in a while. It slows certain websites. It slows down quite a lot because obviously it's trying to work out where on earth you are. The site's going, I can't calculate what is going on.
Does not compute.
And then you have to turn it off and then go back to the website and they'll say, oh right, okay, he's there, that's fine, you can come in now.
What's the point to having a VPN?
It's only certain sites. Like very rarely it happens. It works on every big site you'll use, but on like some small sites.
What sites are you going on? What sites are you going on?
Don't you worry about that. There's a reason I got that VPN and it's never off. But yeah, that's a really cool thing that I use a lot. But again, it's a Google only thing, not Android, so you won't be able to use it.
What is your favorite Pixel exclusive? Is the VPN your favorite Pixel exclusive?
I think it is the VPN. Yeah, it's the one I use the most. It's the one I find most handy.
You see, I think if I had it, mine would be the call screening.
You know what the funny thing is? On my old phone, I got scam calls every 5 minutes, I would say. And it was always a pain in my ass because I didn't have call screening. Now that I've got call screening, I haven't had a single scam call but the entire time I've had this phone. I've had this phone for what, like
3 months?
3 months, yeah. I haven't had a single one. I haven't been able to use it once.
Excellent.
Painful. I used it on John once because it was funny. He immediately hung up. So that was it. But yeah, no, call screening is, well, that's why the main reason I bought that bloody phone anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good one.
In terms of like the phone that I'm going to, it's the A14. So whenever I'm judging it, I'm not going to judge it compared to my iPhone 14 Pro Max because it's, that phone's £170. The iPhone 14 Pro Max is over 1,000.
They might have the same number as in 14, but they definitely don't have the same price tag.
Yeah, so obviously there is some differences. So we're going to be comparing, rather than looking at the camera and stuff, because I think that's a thing that really bugs me about people review like a budget phone or a mid-range phone. They're like, yeah, the camera could be better. Yeah, obviously, but it's not the price of like.
It's like not even £200.
Yeah,
everything could probably be better.
Yeah, but I'm really looking forward to it. There's a couple of smart things that I was reading into it that Samsung does to put that price down. Number one is the One UI that Samsung use. That's their skin of Android. This phone is on a different version of One UI. Right. So it's not as advanced as, say, the one that the S23 Ultra's on.
Yeah.
But it also won't be able to perform most of that stuff, probably. So it's a good way to cut costs without,
Yeah.
Okay, actually have taken things away. Obviously your parts aren't as advanced as the flagships, but another way is pre-installed apps. So these companies, I think TikTok is one of them. I'll go into it more actually when I get my hands on the phone, but it comes up as it comes up straight away. First thing you put the phone up, one of the first things that comes up is Samsung recommend these apps.
I always wondered that with my old Samsung.
Yeah, because it was an A series.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the ways they get the cost, because then that company pays them to.
Well, unfortunately for Samsung, I chose no on all of them.
Yeah.
So, would you like TikTok? No, I wouldn't actually.
They still get paid, so.
Oh, well, unfortunately for TikTok.
So, yeah, I think that's kind of a smart way, because, it's a way of advertising, so it's nothing. It's basically, if you don't want them, you don't have to have them,
Yeah.
That is the one thing, I think it's pretty well known by most people that know me. I'm not a fan of Samsung specifically for phones. I'm alright with Android, but Samsung specifically, I'm not a fan of.
Yeah.
Mostly because you get quite, iPhone's bad for it too, to be fair. You get a lot of bloat with a Samsung phone compared to other phones. So, something there's before, on the S23 Ultra, there's 35 something pre-installed apps.
Ooh.
That's something around that mark, I think.
That's a lot of apps.
That's a lot of apps, and that's things like your Samsung Internet, your Samsung Notes, your Samsung this, your Samsung that, your Samsung,
Yeah.
Whereas you look at something like the Nothing phone. By the way, if I had to go for an Android phone that wasn't a Pixel, it would be a Nothing. In fact, mid-range Android phone would always be a Nothing, I think. You have 3 pre-installed apps.
Yeah, that's much better, isn't it?
Yeah, that
What's
is...
that? Camera settings and contacts?
It's... I think those numbers aren't including that. Even stuff you need to have on a phone. But
obviously, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a very fan. I like to think I'm a minimalist. So I don't know how I'm going to do with the bloat. To do with it. Because obviously there's a lot of Google apps that come pre-installed as well when you buy any Android phone, because it has to. And then Samsung has their own, so you have, it installs, I think the one that I find baffling is it installs Google Chrome, Google, and Samsung Internet. 3 different browsers.
I had that on my own Samsung.
Yeah.
I immediately stopped Samsung Internet.
Yeah.
Because you can't uninstall it because it's a built-in thing. So you just have to force stop it so it stops taking up space.
Seriously?
And it goes away. Yeah, you can't uninstall some of their apps.
Oh no.
and that's one of them. So you just have to force stop it, so it will just not come up anymore.
Yeah. I don't know how I'm going to cope with this stuff. But yeah. I think after this, I think the next Android phone I would like to try is a Nothing. If I can get my hands on one. Especially the new one that's coming out in July, supposedly. Very excited for it. I think... Yeah, so I'm really excited to try the Android phone. Do you think it'll convert me? The world's most popular Android?
Probably not the A14, no. Is it better or worse than my A71 that I had?
Worse.
Worse? Oh, definitely.
Well, technically it's better because it's a new, it's 3 generations newer, but it's a class that's worse.
Oh,
if you know what I mean.
Okay. I don't know. I've never used A14. I used A71 and it was meh for the price. It was a phone. That was about it.
It's a good start.
The only reason I bought it is because it was like 75% off on a Samsung sale. And you got a free speaker with it, which I never got, by the way, Samsung. I never got that damn free speaker.
You probably had to claim it and you probably never did.
I didn't say that in the terms and conditions, so I'm blaming Samsung.
You never read the terms and conditions?
No, I didn't. I saw a free speaker and went, yes, I'll have one. I never got it. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it will convert you, to be honest. I don't think a Samsung will. But it's a phone. That's all I can really say.
Compared a Samsung to Google, do you think a Pixel could convert me to Android?
Compared to the Samsung I used, from my personal experiences, yes. I think the Google would have a better shot.
A better shot. Do you think I could ever be fully converted?
I don't know. That's not a question I can answer. Really, because you do love your iPhone. You know, lifelong Apple fan. So I don't know. I mean, if there's some stuff on it that you can already get through Google that you like, sure. But I don't know if there is or not.
I could see me carrying 2 phones before I carried just an Android phone.
Yeah.
I'm too deep in the Apple ecosystem.
Do you not already do that? I know you have an iPhone. You have an iPhone. What?
I have 2 iPhones. Yeah, I have 2 iPhones. But like one of them's a work phone, so if it not work, it's not in my pocket.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see me carrying 2 phones.
Yeah, that would make more sense.
No, I couldn't see me going straight because I'm too deep in the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Like
plus, whenever you're doing smart home and stuff now as well.
Oh yeah, it's going to be run through by smart home as well. So.
Yeah. So I mean, if you decide to go to Android eventually, it's completely redo the smart home. Yay!
Woo! That is a thing though, because Samsung make a lot of more than just phones. You could get a good smart home integration. In terms of like true, fridges and stuff, so
that is true. Maybe that is the good thing about Samsung. Yeah. I never found any of it useful. I used it as a phone and only a phone. So, yeah, maybe if you have a full Samsung house, sure, sounds amazing.
But only time will tell. Only time will tell.
That shall.
So that is us for another week.
That it is, mate.
That's it. You've ran out of your allotted time. Look forward to that. Me trying an Android video soon. Hopefully within the next 2 weeks, I would say.
Soonish? ? Stay tuned.
Yeah, it's coming on Wednesday, and then I want to give a good week of me using it.
Yeah, give it a proper review.
Yeah, and then we will see about making the video after that. But
fair enough.
Keep an eye on that. That will probably be uploaded on the Ethan's Tech. It'll be uploaded here on YouTube. If you're on Spotify, go check it out on Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube. It'll probably be uploaded to all of them.
Why not?
Well. And that's also have instance where you can find me. Just check out my link tree. It'll be everywhere to do with my link tree.
Be everywhere other than Spotify.
Yeah, pretty much. And yeah, so have you any plans coming up for video-wise you want to give a teaser for?
Not at the moment, no. The YouTube channel has a bit of a hiatus at the moment. until I'm
COVID.
Yes, till I'm not dying and actually have some fresh ideas to do and can be bothered to record things. But yeah, I mean, subscribe and hit the notification bell for whenever I do upload.
We'll see. There's also a backlog of videos you can watch on Shay's channel. That's the links below. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more of this. Yeah, that's all from me.
Bye-bye.
See ya.